Welcome to Home Biz Tax Talk. My name is Lysandra Everett. I am the Home Biz Tax Lady, where I help home business owners win the tax game. Home Biz Tax Talk airs Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock-ish. And when you tune into my show, you're going to hear about topics that are important to the home business community. And so I actually got a great question about S Corps and even partnerships or whatever. And really the question was, if my S Corp did not make any money, should I still file the S Corp taxes? And the answer is yes. Okay. So understand that the S Corp, when you're filing an S Corp return, and the same goes for a partnership, these are information returns for the IRS. The S Corps and partnerships do not pay federal taxes on their own. The only corporate structure that pays its own taxes is a C corporation. So S corporations don't pay federal taxes. It is an information return. However, you also have to think about the states. It's not just federal. And so regardless of whether or not you made money, there are some states that are minimum tax states where it doesn't matter if you had any sales whatsoever. The fact that you have an S corporation in their state says that you owe them a minimum tax. It can be as little as $25. It can be as much as $800. It just depends on the state. So you still need to file regardless of whether or not you made money, so that you can stay compliant in that respect, so that if you do have a minimum tax due, that you can then, stay current with that. Because if you wait, then what's going to happen? You're going to have penalties and interest, and that's going to be a more expensive bill. Because, when your business is registered with the state, they're going to be looking for that. So at some point you're going to file your taxes, and then they're going to go, wait a minute, shouldn't they have filed like 3 years ago? Let us go see. And then they're going to come back and collect. Okay. And with sharp teeth. So it's not just about the federal filing. It's really about the states as well, because the states, they really, regulate. Is regulate the word I really want to use? I'm not sure, but you kind of get what I'm saying. They manage the S Corps, partnerships, LLCs. Those are more state managed type entities, where a C corporation is federal. That's why, the C corporation pays federal taxes as well as state taxes. So it's not just, whether or not you made money. It's, you have to stay in compliance with the federal and the state. Okay. So even though you don't owe the federal government any money, then you could owe the state. But even if you have a zero tax return due and you don't file that return, you're still going to get $195 a month penalty until you file. So this is not something that you want to play with. Go ahead and file the information return, even if it's a zero amount. Okay, better to overfile than underfile, right? Because there's no penalty for telling too much. Okay, that's the thing about the government. You can overreport all day long, but if you underreport, you are in a world of hurt. Okay, nobody from the government is going to send you a letter and say, hey, don't send us these forms. They're not going to tell you that. But if you don't, though, they're going to be real quick to send you a bill with some penalties and interest that compounds and adds daily. Okay. So, at the time of this recording, it is March 15th. That is the deadline for S Corps and partnerships. You need to file an extension or file the information return. If it's a zero return, then it'll be quick. All right. But you definitely want to stay compliant, especially with the state, because the state usually comes for you faster and with sharper teeth than the feds do. And they'll shut you down quicker than the federal government will as well. So yes, go ahead and file, even if you didn't make any money, whether it's S Corp, partnership, C Corp, whatever type of business entity you have. If you are, even if you're just starting, you may have just formed your S corporation 3 months ago. Oh, well, it is what it is. You still file that so that you can stay compliant. Okay, so I really hope that helps you out. And listen, if you have not reached out to your tax professional about as of today, like, listen, you need to get busy and get this done. Get the extension filed so you do not incur the penalties because, hey, it does add up. All right. So thank you so much for tuning into Home Biz Tax Talk. Again, we air Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock-ish, and you can come right here. There you go. And get your questions answered about your home business taxes. I had a quick question. LLC. If you have a single member LLC, that goes on your personal return. So that due date is April 15th. But if you elect corporate treatment, meaning that if you elect to be treated like an S Corp, then you have to follow S Corp rules. Okay? You have to meet the filing date of S Corp and follow all the S Corp rules. So that's the beauty of an LLC, is that it offers that type of flexibility, but you also got to follow the rules for whatever entity you elect. Okay. So, all right, now we're done. All right. You guys have a great day, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.